Hi, I'm Wayne Howe, and welcome to What's in the Neighborhood. Today we're here at the Stony Brook Recreation, Camping, and Variety Store in Hanover, Maine, and we're going to be speaking with the owners, Bruce and Shirley Powell, so let's come on in.
Hi, I'm Jewel Clark, and I am here on October 16th, 2019, at Stony Brook Campground. I'm here for Western Hills Access Television, and behind the camera is Wayne Howe. And for a long time, we've been wanting to interview Bruce and Shirley Powell. So today's the day. Hello.
Hi there.
Greetings. Welcome.
Thank you so much for being here with us. And I'm going to.
Here all the time.
Oh, I knew you'd be fun. This is right. And I'm here once in a while for breakfast, yeah, which is absolutely delicious. And so I'm kind of from the old school of who, what, where, when, and why. We've covered that you are Shirley. No, you're Bruce, and you are Shirley. I'm Jewel. And and there's your phone. What's your number, by the way? No.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. That's life. That's life. So there's a who, but so what? This is a Stony Brook campground, which I was always. How long have you been open? When did you open up?
1984.
1980.
35 years ago.
Wow.
Your wow is right.
So Wayne, can you hear us with if I just hold this right here?
It looks good.
Okay. So so that's a long time ago, and one of the things that I was so surprised about when you first opened up is that it's all year.
Yes.
Winter.
Right. It's all year.
Was that something new in camping back then?
Well, we haven't been open all year, all of that time.
Most of that time, though.
When did we start?
No, in the 80s.
In the late 80s. So
Yeah.
we started easy and we shut the place down. Then we decided to be open year round. And there were several campgrounds in Maine back then. And I think we were down to 2 or 3 right
Yeah.
now.
It's not.
We're one of 2 or 3 that
Right.
are open year round.
Oh,
It's
okay.
not common, and certainly the major reason we can do it is because we live here. Always have lived here.
Uh-huh.
You know, there's not enough business to have staffing to be open year round. But once you have the facilities, it's not anything at all to be open.
Do people are there some campers that are here like all year round, every weekend or whenever they camp, that they just come all year round?
Right. There tends to be two different groups of people. You got
Okay.
the summer people who come for weekends in the summertime in the nice weather. And then there's a whole nother unique group of people who come here in the wintertime. And they're the skiers and the snowmobilers. And so you don't get the off the road traffic in the wintertime the way you do
Uh-huh.
in the nicer weather. You have people who they know they want to ski, and so we have sites now that they can be at that are easy to plow out. So yeah, they're very, very different people.
Because you do everything yourselves here. The town doesn't come in and plow or anything. You have to take
Correct.
care of
Yeah,
everything.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then do those people tend to make reservations ahead of time, or they know about you
Right.
and then they come?
Yeah, especially the winter ones. They come for the season for
Right.
the most part. Most of them,
Right.
our season is October 15th to May 15th.
Oh,
So
all right.
we've been getting people in now. We've got a number of people up there on the hill now that are here for the winter season.
It started yesterday.
That started
And-
yesterday.
And so, I don't really.
Those are all reservations. I mean, we don't, as they say, sometimes you'll get a few people off the road, but that's unusual.
So, because I know nothing about this, do some people just say, I want that site for the entire winter season?
We
Or they
we start off with offering them what sites are the best sites for the winter, and our reasonable for us to plow out. But then, you know, of course, it starts getting more and more limited, and I'm doing all the talking, so Bruce,
Well, that's
it.
I happen to be used to that.
Oh, no.
And your daughter is working with you sometimes now, right? She's moved back into the area, and
Right.
you know, the school is so glad to have her here.
Right.
But
right.
that must be.
We're glad to have her here, too.
I was going to say that must be nice to have her and your grandchildren, her family
Right.
close by.
Right. Right.
And
It's
yeah,
wonderful.
because before she lived back in the area, I believe she was in Portland.
Yes.
Their daughter's name is Kristen, by the way, lovely lady. She used to come up during the summers when she was on school vacation, right?
Right,
and
for a
help-
few summers
Yeah.
before she made the
and
move.
help,
Right,
but
right. But there were a whole lot of years when she wasn't here that,
Mhm.
you know, we kept on.
and you
Right.
live near here. You live
We
on the
live in-
campground
right,
somewhere.
we live
here,
in a corner of the campground.
in a hideaway.
In the hideaway, exactly.
I had no idea. I just made that up.
We move
Our place is
frequently
called
to
the Hideaway.
avoid the bill collectors.
Well,
Oh,
when I
no.
was here for breakfast a couple weeks ago, I saw you come downstairs, so I thought maybe you lived upstairs.
Yeah.
And I
No,
knew you
office
lived somewhere here because you'd always lived here, well,
Right.
since I can remember, but you actually lived in this building.
Yes.
We did.
So,
Yeah. This is where our children were brought up.
and when did you turn this into a store? Because I can't really remember. I just thought, oh, cool, store.
Well, it's been 15 to 20 years that we've had a seasonal store in here. But about 5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago, we decided to stay open year-round. The Bear River store down the corner closed up, and Gordy House up the road closed up. And it provided an opportunity for a need for a convenience store in the area. So we decided to stay open year-round. And then about 3 years ago, we opened this up into a dining area. Before that, this had been an apartment, and the store was just on that part. Now, the building, we have some office space upstairs and for our own offices. And this is the dining room, and that's the store, and that's been about 5 years now, I think. And it's going well. The only thing we miss is gasoline, and it's just too costly to think about.
Uh-huh.
And it's unfortunate because there used to be gas in every corner, and there used to be gas at Gordy House, and, you know, 4 miles that way, half a mile that way. Now people to get gas, go Bethel or Rumford. We have a lot of snowmobilers, a number of snowmobilers who ask us about fuel in this time of the, you know, in the winter time, but it's just too costly. It's too big an investment for what we think we could get out of it.
And one more thing you'd have to
And one
watch.
more thing, exactly.
I feel,
Exactly.
I get anxiety for people that are in stores and
Right.
there are people pumping gas, and I'm like,
Right.
how do you keep your eye out? How do you? But,
Yeah, it's one more thing.
Yeah, but you do fill propane tanks.
We do.
Yes.
And
We
so
do. And our propane business is strong. That's good, and it's good for our campers, and it's good for the neighborhood as well.
So the dining area, what are your hours on that? I mean, wait, the store is open 365 days a year.
No, Christmas. We're
Christmas?
closed Christmas Day.
Okay, so
Yeah.
364 days
Right,
a year.
Right,
Except leap year.
except for leap year.
It's
That is
365
65.
days.
Right.
So that's
Every 4
very
years.
good, yeah.
6 in
And-
the morning to 8 at night for
Wow.
most of the season. In the summer season, it's till 9 during the week and 10 on weekends.
And what about your dining area?
Same.
Same.
We closed the kitchen about a half an hour before, so like 7:30. After 7:30, you couldn't get anything hot to eat, but certainly people can come in here and have a sandwich or have a drink or
So it's breakfast, lunch, and dinner,
Dinner,
or
right,
supper, or
right,
whatever people
right.
choose to call it.
Right.
So,
And we do have a wine and beer license, so that folks can have a wine or a beer with their meal if they'd
oh,
like.
they can. Oh, okay.
yeah, yeah.
And
So
I
will
mean,
that bring you out in the?
I like the coffee with the breakfast. But, we did come for lunch once. Wonderful lunch.
Yeah, good.
But that's good to know.
Yeah.
It's a sweet dining room, and I've always been curious. And I think I asked once. I think no, but does this get fired up in the winter?
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, it
that'll
does.
be, yeah.
Okay,
It's-
I've just
that's
never-
a propane, it's a
That's
gas
what I
stove,
thought.
right.
I checked it out a couple weeks
Yeah.
ago.
That was
Anyway,
our
I-
source of heat when we lived here. For a long time, it was wood. We only
Okay.
had wood. We had a bigger stove here, and that was our source of heat.
But the big old wood stove over here doesn't get fired up.
Not anymore, but we used to when we
Yeah.
lived here, yeah. Yeah.
So how many sites do you have?
75.
Wow.
75 cents.
And how many acres does that cover?
Probably encompasses 30 acres,
Wow.
thereabouts.
Wow. And you have a pool,
We do.
and that's an outdoor pool.
It
Yes.
is.
I haven't seen it for a long time, so
Yeah.
it is an outdoor pool,
Yeah.
so that's not.
It's open
No.
year-round, but it's very, very hard in the wintertime.
So you have an ice skating rink, but no, a small ice skating rink.
No,
And-
We have
unfortunately,
a
no.
pond
ice
for
skating.
the ice skating rink.
And do they really skate on that?
Well, in past years, we have occasionally, and last year I thought about it, but, you know, it didn't happen in time, and then once you get snow on it, you know, you have to
Yeah.
decide and be ready for it and
Right.
start sweeping,
Snow last year
shoveling
came
it.
too early
It
and
came
lasted
too
too
early,
long.
right,
Yes.
right.
I agree.
Yeah, it did.
Really lasted
And
too
actually,
long.
you know, it takes a lot to have a decent ice skating rink,
Yes,
so.
I mean,
yeah,
I
it
think
goes through my
sometimes they
head.
probably have to put a hose on
You
it.
you do, absolutely, yeah, so who knows?
And do you have also a building, like a rec building, an inside building for people to have functions in,
Mm-hmm.
or?
We do, we have a rec hall with games in it, ping pong and, well, no, our ping pong isn't there anymore, but pool and then video games, that sort of thing, and board games. We're big board game people, so you're gonna find lots of board games up there. And there's a pavilion right outside of that, a covered area, and then we have a separate building, another pavilion for, you know, larger gatherings, so yes.
So like a family reunion or
Family,
something?
lots of family reunions. We've had several weddings, actually, too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
nice to know.
And
So
birthday parties, lots of birthday parties.
are these functions usually involving someone at the campground, or do you get calls that just say, could we have a family
Both.
reunion at
Both.
your place?
Both.
Yeah.
And class reunions.
Oh, wow.
We've had a number of Telstar class reunions here.
Oh,
And,
nice.
and actually Mountain Valley as well.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's good, and they can come, they tend to be, when they get older, and then they bring their families, and they come for, you know, the afternoon and into the evening, and the kids can play all the games. You know, we have volleyball, shuffleboard, badminton, mini golf, playground, playhouses.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's just a nice area for people to enjoy an afternoon and early evening.
It sounds like it. We actually, our family had a summer family gathering here
Yes, you
at
did.
one point in time.
Yes,
So
you
that was
did.
a long time ago.
It was a long time
it
ago,
was,
so you
yeah.
should be doing it
Yeah,
again.
well, now, the,
Now you could have
The-
your children and
the-
their children.
the part of the family that lives on Lake Christopher has it at
Oh,
their
yes,
house
okay.
every summer, so. But I did, yeah, and so we weren't camping here, but some relatives of relatives were
Right.
camping here. That's
Right.
how we had realized it could work out.
Right.
And you do other extra things here besides allow events and functions. You have cruise in.
Classic-
yes, that's
classic
right.
car cruising.
Classic.
Now, how did that come about?
Well, an acquaintance of mine who's an avid believer in classic cars, and Wayne, you would know who that is too. Donnie Hoyt was the one that was talked me into it. He does one down at Bros too.
I was thinking, is he from Bryant Park?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I've known Donnie a long time, worked with him at Stolwood Products, and I've known him for a long time. And he said, you ought to do it up here, and we have this area out here, which is, we've expanded over the years, and I think we had a maximum of 42 or 43 cars in September, which was our biggest one.
Wow, wow.
And,
And
of
Wayne
course-
and his dad have come. Have you come to every single one?
We missed a couple.
Missed
Yeah,
a
missed a
couple.
couple. But,
the
so, you know, the
Volkswagen
cruising is a
Kings.
lot of fun. We started with 20-some odd cars, and now we're up to 40-some odd cars, and people really enjoy it. We serve a little food out there. We put hot dogs and pizzas and cold drinks, and
And sometimes you have
Chips.
live entertainment.
we
I
have
was
live
just going to say it
entertainment.
now this past year.
We've,
last
we've
couple of
had,
years, live
live
entertainment.
for the last 2 years.
Great.
Which is,
Local entertainment.
And, I mean, people seem to be having a blast when they're there. It's fun to see the cars come in. Do sometimes do people, you think, just going by stop? I mean, they
Oh,
might
absolutely.
they might have a
Yeah.
really hot car and,
Right.
and stop,
Yeah.
but sometimes just people stop to see
absolutely.
what's
I think so.
going on.
I think
We
so.
have, yeah, and then we have several people from Bethel and Rumford as well. No cars, they just like to come out, they like the camaraderie, and they
Yeah.
like, they're car enthusiasts, just like we are, but we don't have one. So you can go look at other people's, and talk to them, and hear that you probably shouldn't have one, because you don't know how to keep them restored. But every now and then I have to be reminded of that, yeah, it costs money.
And those are during the week too, so they're not
Yes.
having competition from some
Right.
other big event going on.
Right.
So is it
Second-
usually Tuesday?
Second
It's second
Tuesday of
Tuesday.
every month, the 4 months of June, July, August, September. And that's what we plan to do next year. And I'll have to move our latest venture out of the way because those U-Haul trailers out there are not classic. And I suspect they take up more room than they should for the classic car. So
Well-
we'll move the trailers out of the way.
Tell us what that venture is, though. You can't
Well,
just
that's
like
a-
drop that.
That's a U-Haul rentals,
Uh-huh.
U-Haul rentals, trucks and trailers and the appliances and so
Oh,
forth.
that seems like a very good idea.
And we've
because-
just started that a couple of months ago.
Uh-huh.
That's
And-
Bruce's endeavor.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. The closest U-Haul otherwise is Rumford or Oxford.
That's
Or
was going to
Gorham.
be my question.
Or
See, you're
Berlin.
clairvoyant. Yeah,
Yeah,
Berlin.
right.
Okay, so that's
Yeah.
good to know. I
Berlin,
thought you even
Gorham.
had to go to Lewiston or something. But
Yeah.
They do have one in Lewiston, a bigger, they have a center in Lewiston. But so we just started that a couple of months ago. It's starting to catch on. People just going by have seen the sign and seen the vehicles out there. And then also, we're now on the webpage, I think, for you all. It's taken a couple of months. I'm not sure. If it isn't on today or yesterday or next week, it'll be on within the next week or so.
And we don't have all the vehicles here that we have access to, you just can't. So if somebody wanted something that we don't have here, that's, we all cooperate, I think, I can,
Yep,
and
yep.
so you go and get it from somewhere else and bring it here. So we make it convenient for people.
that
like
was going to be my
right,
next question.
Right, like we have people who
Yeah.
drop one off that we
Yeah.
didn't rent because it's the most convenient place.
That's what I wondered.
And this likewise with picking stuff
Mm-hmm.
up. If we don't have it, we'll go and get it. Or if somebody gets a call and they don't want to travel to Rumford, they'll make arrangements to get it here. So it's a very cooperative endeavor, I would say.
I think that's a very helpful service. To
It
have
is.
in
It
the
is
community,
really.
So that's good.
Right.
That's good.
Yeah.
And then you also have added another interest
You're making
to.
me feel old.
Well, I understand that this has
Well, I
been a
am old,
long-term
so.
interest.
No denying that, but go ahead.
that you have had a lifelong interest in gems and minerals, and you've incorporated that into something you offer here that is really fun for people.
Mm-hmm.
And we got a chance to witness some of that today. So you
Did you
have
get some
a
of that filmed?
sluice. Yes.
Because that's
Oh, yeah.
really,
We
kids
filmed-
makes much better subjects than
We
old
filmed
people.
a lot of different
Yeah, good,
clips for it. We
good.
just didn't put it as like
Right,
the whole like
right,
listening to everything, but
right.
a lot of different clips.
Yeah.
So you have a sluice.
We do,
And
finally.
it was built by one of your people that, not
I
you
call him our
people.
resident carpenter.
Your
He
resident
happens to
carpenter.
live on the property, but he does a lot of our work
Okay,
that we need to have done. And
so
that,
he built it, but then you also have people that camp here that are also very
Yes.
knowledgeable about gems and minerals.
yes, they're local people, they're Rumford people.
Okay,
Pam and Mark Lyons is their last name. Well, Pam.
Mayo.
Mayo.
Mayo, I'm sorry. Pam is now a Lyons, but she was originally, her maiden name is Mayo. And they've been interested for years and are very knowledgeable.
And they help out and.
They are the catalyst.
Ah, that's so awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's something I've wanted to do forever because when we moved up here and I realized the history of the mines and minerals and gems, most of me and the kids, Bruce was working too hard to do those things back then. We would go, back then, the mines were, a lot of them were open.
Open,
And
yeah.
Parham's was a great resource and he owned a number of mines and quarries that he would just let you go in, no charge, no nothing. It was just a great thing to do. A lot of those are now closed or have changed hands. But anyway, and we just had fun with that for any number of years. I've wanted to do it for a long time. but just didn't have all the wherewithal. So once the Mayos came, and it's been a real joint effort with them.
And you have a couple of showcases in here of
Yes.
gems and minerals that you said they all come from the Noise
Noise Mountain,
Mountain?
yeah.
Noise.
Noise Mountain. Yeah, Noise Mountain is home to any number of the mines in the area.
Which is
so.
in the Greenwood.
Greenwood area.
Greenwood area.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you exactly where.
Yeah, there's a lot of hills and mountains
Right.
down there. So.
I mean, I might be able to drive there and find it, but it's a long way up and onto a very rocky road.
And you have it. You told me that the top portion that looks like an old type water system or water. What do you call it? Like on Petticoat Junction.
Yeah,
that big
Storage.
the drum.
Storage.
that's up
right.
there. But then you have the wheel.
Yeah.
And the
yeah.
water comes down, and it looks, well, there were 13 or 14 students here this morning, so you
Yeah.
can have a lot of people doing it at the same
Yeah,
time.
probably our limit would be 20 to 25, 20, 25.
But
somewhere.
I would think that would be a big hit at family reunions and
Oh, I
birthday
hope
parties
so.
and stuff.
Yeah,
so-
we hope so.
And you just opened that this summer?
Late summer,
So you
late summer,
just
yeah.
had an opening, because one of the
Right.
students out there, he said he came to your opening.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
was very into it, and
Yeah.
it was
Couple
fun to
weeks
watch
ago.
him.
3 weeks ago, maybe.
Yeah, well, we're hoping that, come next spring, I'll invite any number of the local schools. That was the Eddy School who was here, which was here today. But, Telstar and then Rumford area. I mean, really, I think it's a great education, and
Yeah.
our young people should understand what beauty there is in our area. And,
Yes.
So
Yes.
we're
And
hoping, of
like
course,
your-
we also want people to come off the road and do it.
Your pamphlet mentioned that the first commercial mine
Right,
in the country, is it?
right.
Was actually
I
in
think,
Paris.
yeah. Yeah, that was definitely the,
Maine.
right,
Paris,
the
Maine, not
mineral and gem quality was found here in Paris area, yep.
So are there any other hidden little things here that we should be telling
We
people
also
about?
rent canoes and kayaks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
And,
didn't
uh,
realize that.
We do some shuttling, we put them on the river, we don't guide,
Mm-hmm.
but we do launch them and pick them up and so forth, and that's not a big part of our business. We have, the campground down in Bethel is big into that, so they do a nice job on that, and they do a lot of it. But if we have people camping here and they want to this is a beautiful stretch of the river right here from Newry Corner down to Hanover or down to Rumford.
Uh-huh.
It's a beautiful stretch of river, and we can accommodate them with a canoe or a kayak, and
So it's an additional service.
It's just
that
an
you provide.
additional thing
And
we
I've
do.
heard that this is beautiful, and I don't think
Yeah.
it's traveled as much
It's
as
not,
like
it's
from
the
Gilead
upper
down to
part,
Bethel.
right,
Yeah,
right,
so
yeah.
That's
This is,
good, that's good to know.
yeah,
And
yeah.
is your food takeout?
yes.
Do you have a lot of takeout?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So people call up and order a pizza or a whole dinner or
Yep.
something and
Right.
take out?
Yeah.
right.
And you mentioned when you came here, that was another question I had. I wondered if you grew up in this area, either one of you.
No,
No.
you didn't.
no, we're from a city.
You are?
We're both from Connecticut. We were born and raised in Connecticut, and we moved up here in the mid-'70s.
I was gonna say a long time ago.
Yeah.
Before I
And
came
then-
to this area.
Yeah,
About 6 or 7 years later, we opened a campground, and
we came with the idea always of developing a campground.
Ah.
And we purchased this property very specifically because we could just envision a campground.
That's so nice.
Yeah,
That's so
yeah,
nice. I'm
we
glad
can-
you did.
Thank you, thank you, yeah.
And I'm glad you served breakfast. So what is your favorite part about your business? Or do you know yet?
people you meet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
It's a
is.
great experience. You meet 99.9% of the people, of our customers and our guests are wonderful people. And
That's a pretty high
That's-
percentage.
it is.
That's awesome.
Well,
Yeah.
it's basically true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically true.
I think that's very much the case.
We've been we've developed some relationships over the years, some folks that we've maintained communication with and so forth. So we've grown some friends out of our campground experiences, and it's
It's a big campground
Right.
family.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's,
Right.
yeah, it is. I hadn't thought about that, but, many of our very good friends are the result of our developing this.
Yeah.
And they either started, camping themselves,
Uh-huh.
and then we just became friends, or they were staff here, or we could, whatever. The other thing is, we've met a lot of people from all over the world, particularly Europeans, but I'd say we've also had some Far Eastern people that just come in. They tend to come for a month, come to the United States and take a holiday and rent a camper if they're gonna, and so that's been fun, something I wouldn't have expected.
Yeah.
And then the Appalachian Trail is so nearby. We do shuttle back and forth to the trail. And we've met a lot of really interesting people that are off the trail for a couple of days to take a break. We'll start getting packages like in May from somebody, we don't even know who they are yet. They haven't, but they'll say Appalachian Trail, So that's a lot of fun, actually.
We resupply the hikers so we can shuttle them here and they can spend some time here, or they can just resupply and we'll take them back to the trail, or, it's convenient
Yeah.
for them.
So, do you have, some people can bring campers here.
Yep.
Some people can bring tents here.
Oh,
Like I'm
yeah.
thinking
Yeah,
they
we have a
tents.
really nice tent. in
But
here.
do you have some campers available for people to rent?
A
that
few,
don't
not
have
a
it?
lot,
Yeah.
but a
you
couple
do
of,
have that.
We have a
Yes.
couple of lean-tos as well, which are
Right.
rustic
Yeah.
camping.
Yeah.
Right,
And
yeah.
what I wanted to say is Shirley comes from a fairly large family. She's the youngest of 7. And since we opened up the campground, we've had her family reunion here. I'm not going to comment whether that's good or bad.
35 years of family reunions. It's actually wonderful.
It's been wonderful.
It's sweet.
Yeah, it is.
We've, the nieces and nephews and grandnieces and nephews have grown up around Stony Brook
Yeah.
Campground.
Yeah,
That's
It's kind of neat.
that's a wonderful memory to grow up
it
with, I
is,
would think.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
And I'm sure there's a lot of, remember that year? And
Yeah.
remember that year?
And it's nice for us because we don't have to go anywhere, and all these people come here, and we get to see now the third generation, that otherwise you really wouldn't, even if you went to weddings and funerals, those little kids aren't around, so
Right.
it's fun to have a place where they can come and
Very kid-friendly place.
very kid-friendly, and Kristen our daughter Kristen will tell you that her cousins are some of the most important people in her life, and now they're all having children, and
Yeah.
they're tight, and it's just, even if they see each other just once a year,
Yeah.
boy,
can
do
look,
they.
gives them something to look forward to that
Absolutely,
time. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. Now you have a website?
Of course.
You have a website, so
And a
it's-
Facebook page.
I was just going to say, so they look up Stony Brook Campground, Hanover, Maine,
Yeah.
they would find, we have to
Right.
find the
Or if
website.
they look up camping in Western Maine, hopefully they find it. They're supposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is it stonybrookcampground.com or
StonyBrookRec.com
stonybrookrac.com?
is our website page, yeah.
And then I don't really know a lot about Facebook, but if they just look Stony Brook.
Just go, on
Yeah.
Facebook, you got this little magnifying thing just put in Stony Brook.
Stony Brook.
Anything,
And
Stony
Maine.
Brook Campground, Stony Brook Rec,
Yeah.
something will show up.
Stony Brook variety.
Stony Brook Variety. And now, U-Haul. Western Maine U-Haul. Stony Brook should come up.
Well, is there anything else you'd like people to know? As inquisitive as I am, I think I've asked a lot of questions.
Holy moly, I guess you have.
I said if I was a cat, I'd be gone by
private,
like. If I was
Don't ask me my age.
What's your phone number? Well, thank you so much.
Oh, this has been
For
fun.
Thank you.
it is fun. I love to interview people. It's just I'm not nosy. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Right.
If I was a cat, I'd need like 20 lives. But thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You're
Thanks
welcome.
for coming.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching.